We put out health and wellness content every single week. Over 700 videos here on YouTube. Tons of live streams in the Facebook group. We have it pulled up. We see all the questions every single week from you guys. People want to know, Matt, what are the 2 best and the 2 worst saunas that you've ever used in the last 7 years or so that you've been doing this? Some stand out, some not so much. Let's talk about it. So let's get into the 2 worst saunas that I've ever used first. A couple things come to mind. It's difficult to immediately, I've been in so many saunas, over 40 sauna brands now. It's difficult for me to figure out like what's the absolute worst because there have been a bunch that I don't really like, but there have also been a bunch that are mediocre or kind of good, right? But 2 that specifically stand out for me. Number 1, as far as a wooden sauna goes, has to be my Sauna Ray experience. The heater layout is severely lacking in that thing. So I sit in there and I wait for heat to build. It does eventually build inside the cabin, but there's no infrared coverage in the right areas to really give me like that deep detoxificating sweat. I think this company stands for great things. They build saunas in North America. We've never really done like bad reviews on them or anything. At the same time, when I get out of that sauna, I'm kind of wondering, where was my sauna session? Like, what happened? Yeah, I feel a little hot. I have a little surface sweat, but I don't have any infrared penetration on my core. My organs aren't being hit. There's no heat on my spine. It's kind of like shoved into the corners at awkward height distances. My knees are on fire, yet there's no heat on the sides for my core. So the sauna session itself, regardless of how well they're built or what the company stands for, really left me wanting like a sauna session when I just completed one. So that's kind of that's a hard pill to swallow because we're using this in order to get heat therapy, but you do an hour in there and you don't really have a heat therapy session. So that's probably one of my least favorite experiences. Not the worst built sauna per se. It's built fine. Just the heat delivery on it doesn't work, or didn't work for me. Second on that list has to be 100% my worst experience ever was with one of those sauna blankets. Specifically, we had like a version 1 or version 2 higher dose sauna blanket. Extremely popular. You see influencers that are paid to plaster them all over the place. Even on the box, there's fancy pictures. It shows, how the sauna is spread out on a nice comforter, and there's like your bedspread pillows and all this stuff, and the girl's laying on top of it, enjoying herself. That's completely insane. That is absolutely nuts to put a cadaver bag that you're going to sweat in on top of your bed. Because when you open it up, this nastiness is basically everywhere. You have to clean it up, like mop it up, because it just sits in there like it's disgusting. And then the weirdest thing to me is that parts of my skin that come into contact with the bag, or my feet, or whatever, are literally on fire. Like, there's no doubt that the cubic footage is so small that it can heat you up, right? But you're literally laying like in a wrapped, I feel like I'm in a coil of an electric blanket or something, right? A little bit weird also to be like mummified. I feel like my arms were sort of, once you Velcro yourself in, I feel like my arms were sort of stuck inside. And this just could be a bias from me, right? You got to take everything you see on the internet with a grain of salt. But for me, this is by far my worst sauna experience. I can't film myself in these things. So I had the guys, film me. The crew was running the camera gear and stuff. And they're laughing the entire time because I'm not enjoying myself. Nor am I getting what I would consider like a great sweat session. Feedback from the company was, "Oh, Matt, you just need to wear a sweatsuit." I'm like, "What do you mean wear a sweatsuit? Like literally wear a sweatshirt and sweatpants and thick socks? So I'm gonna sweat into that? So now I have to wash that. I have to clean the sauna, and I have to be careful of where I lay with this thing." Regardless if I like it or whatever, that is just not enjoyable for me. It's just wasn't for me. I've never liked them since. I've never, ever suggested people get a sauna blanket in the last 6 years that I've been doing this. I know you can raise core temperature, but I also think that you're not actually getting infrared penetration in the body from some of them because they're woven heat coils. They're not actually infrared emitters. They make it seem sexy online, but you get into this sucker and you're like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. So By far, worst sauna experience would be one of them blankets. Now that you've heard me whine about stuff that I don't like, let's get into some stuff that I do like. I've had some really great experiences over the years. I've tried more saunas probably than most people will ever have access to. This is why in some of the live streams, we have questions, or in the Facebook group, somebody will paste a response from an email. So-and-so salesperson from this company said this, and theirs is this way, or theirs is that. It's like, well, yeah, but have they actually used those two? I mean, you're never going to use both of them. If they haven't used both of them, are both of you talking about something that exists nowhere in either one of your real world experiences? Because that's what I'm hearing, right? So let's talk about stuff that I actually like. The Radiant Health E2.5 is one of my favorite saunas in all of my sauna experiences because it delivers a sweat at a low temperature that is intense enough for me to get a great session, even if I'm short on time, or even if I'm, all the things that when life happens and you can't do your regular, protocol and this, that, and the other, that thing just delivers time after time. But the reason why the 2.5 specifically is because it's big inside. It's not so huge that you need like 240 volt electrical or something that usually you have to have an electrician run, or this, that, and the other. Generally, you can find an outlet in a basement, in a garage, in a room near the laundry room that's 20 amp and not have to do any electrical upgrades. But my point is, it's big enough for me to put my feet up, and then I still get the heat coverage from the concealed heater in the bench. So whether I'm laying flat, have my legs up, sitting Indian style, maybe I'm sore from a workout, it offers, or want a sauna with a spouse or something, or whatever, do a demo. It offers the most flexibility in the smallest package that still heats like a high-performing sauna. So great experience with it over the years, never had any trouble, and I also love the way that it looks. It looks like a decent piece of furniture in any room that I put it in, and like I said, been rock solid for me. No crazy techno mumbo jumbo where like it won't connect to the internet or any of that stupid stuff. It has a delayed start right on the screen. So if I want to go do a workout and then I want to jump in the sauna after, I just come set it for the number of hours that I want it to come on, after, and then I just walk up and it's ready. The second thing that I've had a really eye-opening experience with is the Heavenly Heat Mini Eco. It delivers a really strong sweat in a very short amount of time, and I think the build quality, most mini saunas that I've tried are very flimsy. They're very short, right? Like they usually have a door on the side where I have to literally turn sideways in order to squeak in. And then I'm also crouching because I'm taller than the sauna itself. And I've never really liked that. Yeah, you can get a decent sweat in them, but they're just not really built well. I feel like, if I was trapped in a car and was trying to kick out the glass, I could easily bust the walls open on one of those minis. But when I unboxed the Heavenly Heat Mini, I don't know if you've seen the review on YouTube, but we have it up. When Aaron and I unboxed that, he even said something too. I mean, he's just running the camera and he's like, that seems pretty heavy duty. I said, come grab it. He grabbed a wall and he was like, oh my God. There's a noticeable difference in quality, and that carried through the entire experience too. It wasn't just like how thick the walls are or how well it was built. It was, damn, this thing heats up fast. I could be short on time, just turn it on, go make my drink, come back, get in it, get a sauna session in with, I don't want to say zero preheat, but as close as possible from every single thing that I've ever tried, right? And I get it, it's not for everybody. If you look at me in there, I'm not sitting like this, but there's no room for me to go left or right or to turn or to do anything. I'm a bigger person, and that's just what it is. But that also contributes to amazing performance, a small package that we put in a closet, right? These are all like standout things where I'm not just thinking about myself. I had one of the best experiences that I've had in a sauna in that, especially being short on time. And I'm just thinking, man, this is great if I moved to an apartment for a period of time, or if I had to switch cities, like living in a different place for a career, whatever, all the circumstances we face in life. There's so many instances where this is the best choice for something like that. And it was a standout for me. I think it would be a standout for you. If you haven't seen these products before, we'll put links in the description. One is the Heavenly Heat Eco. They also have a one person that I've tried as well. That works great. Obviously, it's not that small. Obviously, it's not completely zero preheat. You know, some of the mini features are unique specifically to that model because the cubic footage is small, but really cool packages. Check them out, see what you think. I think you guys will love some of those. And then don't take the bad reviews as like, look at what you can learn from them. When I say like my worst sauna experiences, it's not about those brands. It's just about how those products deliver a lack of, right? It's really a lack of heat therapy. That said, those have got to be some of the best saunas that I've ever used and some of the worst saunas that I've ever used. If you like this video, we put out content on health and wellness every single week. We'll see you in the next one.